Buying a house in another state can be a complex process, but it can be a great opportunity to buy the home of your dreams. In this video, I'm going to break down the steps to guide you on how you can buy a home in another state. So stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm Alejandra Paladino, your local real estate agent in Arizona. I have a passion for helping people move here, so I created this YouTube channel to guide people, and I also have an Instagram channel, so check below for that information. So if you've never been here, make sure you look around. I've got tons of great videos on why Arizona is amazing and why you'd want to move here, and I share lots of different tips on what it's like living here, cost of living. I've got home tours. So check out my channel, and if you like what you see, subscribe. And that way you can join the family and know when the next video comes out. I'm getting so many phone calls from you guys saying, hey, I want to move to Arizona. Can you help me? Or what's it like to live in this area? Reach out. All the contact information is below. My team and I would love to speak with you and guide you on your process. I often get asked how someone can buy a house while living in another state. So I wanted to come up with this video to share some helpful information. First of all, you've got to come up with a game plan. In your game plan, first you're going to want to figure out what's your time frame for moving. Everyone's situation is going to be different, but if you ask yourself these questions, it's going to help you figure that out. For instance, are you currently renting? Are you in a lease? And if so, are you willing to wait until the lease ends, or are you willing to break the lease? Now, if you break the lease, it's important to review the lease contract terms to figure out what exactly happens if you do break the lease early. What I've seen a lot in Arizona is that you'll have to pay a penalty fee. Usually the amount is about 2 months worth of rent. So if, let's say, your rent's like $1,500, that could be $3,000. But the great thing is we could always negotiate and get you a seller concession on the home that you're buying and then cover that cost. Definitely reach out for more information on that, because that's a different topic and I don't want to sidetrack. Once you figure out your time frame for moving, the next step that I recommend is finding a local real estate agent in the area or the state that you want to move to. The reason you want a local expert is that way the real estate agent, they can help you research the market. They can tell you how the housing market is, things to look at. We can't specifically tell you crime rates, but we can guide you to websites to look that information up. Also, oftentimes people ask me information about school districts, what areas, if they're going to live in this area, how are the school districts. So all of that information can be provided to you by the real estate agent, and that way you get a local expert guiding you on the best areas that are going to fit your needs. Plus, the real estate agent will be able to connect you with an amazing lender and local vendors that you'll need. So for instance, when you're buying your home, you want to make sure that you get pre-approved with a local lender that's going to give you the best interest rate at the lowest cost, plus be able to respond to all of your questions in a timely manner. I've heard of some horror stories of clients who call lenders, the lenders barely call them back, and there's delays in closing. We don't want any of that headache. So I'll make sure to connect you, if I'm your agent, with some amazing lenders. And an important vendor that you're going to need a referral to during the transaction is a home inspector. When you're under contract to buy a house, you definitely want that house inspected, and hopefully the real estate agent you connect with is going to have an amazing home inspector they can refer you to. I have two really good ones. One speaks Spanish, one of them is amazing and does new construction. So definitely that's another benefit of working with a local real estate agent. Next on the list, you're gonna wanna get credit in order. You currently need 580 credit score or higher to qualify to buy. The amazing thing is, one of my lenders recently told me they have a loan program right now that someone with a 500 credit score could qualify to buy. The only thing is you will need 10% down. So the recommended thing would be we work on getting your credit to 580 or higher, and then you would only need 3.5% down. Next on the list is getting your finances in order. you're gonna wanna make sure that you've got money saved for down payment and for closing costs. When you buy a house, you need at least 3.5% to 5% of the purchase price for your down payment. Depending on your debt to income ratio, this is basically all of your debt divided by your income. This is what many people call DTI. Depending on where that's at, the lender may require a higher down payment than the 3.5% to 5%. Again, each person will get a custom loan program. The lender will basically tell you, okay, looking at your credit, looking at your savings, looking at your debt, looking at your income, they figure out, okay, which type of loan program, FHA, conventional, will be better for you and at the lowest cost usually. That's our goal, right? To get you in a home at the best rate at the lowest cost. Keep in mind that when you buy a house and you don't put 20% down as your down payment, you will have to pay an additional fee every month. It's called mortgage insurance. But honestly, nowadays, I've seen that fee to not be that high. And most of my clients don't end up waiting until they have 20% to put down, because then that way they can buy their home sooner with a lower down payment and start building equity instead of waiting. Now, using some simple numbers to further illustrate the down payment, if we use $400,000 as the purchase price, 3.5% of that would be $14,000. Now, if we do $400,000 at 5%, that would be $20,000 as the down payment. The other cost that's involved when you buy a house is what's called closing costs. What is in there is basically lender fees, title fees, HOA fees. Those are your typical closing costs. And those on average are gonna range between 1.75 to 2.25% of the purchase price. So again, if we use simple numbers, $400,000 priced home at 2% would be $8,000 in closing costs. The great thing is, many times the real estate agent can negotiate for the seller of the house that you're buying to pay some or all of your closing costs. So that is an option. If you're interested in that, reach out. If you're in Arizona, if you're in another place, I can refer you to another great real estate agent in another state, as I work with a nationwide of agents everywhere. So in conclusion of these numbers, with the 3.5% down, with the $400,000 priced home, you would have a total of $22,000 out of pocket costs, which is basically what we call cash to close. You pay that at closing. Usually closing, when you sign all the documents, is a few days before you actually close on your home. Now at the 5% scenario, with the 2% closing costs, that would be $28,000 total cash to close that you would be needing again at closing. The next thing on the list is that you will want to secure employment in the new state. In order to get pre-approved to buy the home in the new state, you'll have to show that you have a job there unless you're working remote. So the easiest thing would be, can you transfer your existing job? Are you self-employed? If you are, depending on the line of business that you're in, the lender might make you wait a year before you can buy. The lender may require for you to show proof of income for a year in that new state. Again, ask the lender, as maybe the line of work that you're in allows you to have an exception. Or you can always secure new employment in the new state. Once you do get your employment, you basically show your proof of employment, usually an offer letter. You give that to the lender. Depending on the situation, the lender may require you to wait until you have 30 days of pay stubs. Usually that's just 2 pay stubs before you can actually close on the home. But the great thing is, usually with your offer letter, you can be pre-approved and we can start looking at homes. But again, every situation is different, and I always defer to the lender. They will tell you exactly what will work in that situation. Now, some great websites for local job opportunities: ArizonaAtWork.com, Indeed.com, SimplyHired.com. Of course, there's more websites out there, but just wanted to share some of the popular ones. The great thing about Arizona, tons of businesses have been moving here and a lot of companies are hiring. So it is a great place to move with lots of job opportunities. Now, the next thing on your list is going to be get pre-approved. It's a great idea to get pre-approved to buy a home before actually looking at homes. This way we can figure out exactly how much you qualify for. I would hate to show somebody a house, they fall in love with it, and we come to find out it's not in their budget. So I always have my clients always get pre-approved, and I like to find out if there's a certain monthly mortgage that they're hoping to stay within, maybe a range or something, because we give all that information to the lender and then they can come up with a purchase price or purchase price range, and that way we can make sure to find your dream house while staying in budget. I hope that this video has been informative for you. Feel free to reach out with any further questions. If my team and I can help you in any way, we would love the opportunity to. In Arizona, we work Phoenix and all surrounding areas, but I've got great partner agents in other areas of Arizona, plus all throughout the US. So if you need any real estate help at all, reach out. We would love to help you. And if you found value in this video, please like and subscribe. That way you're part of the family and you know when the next video comes out. And make sure to comment below if you've got other video ideas or questions that I can help with. I love hearing from all of you. So lots of fun today hanging out. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.